Greetings, Pilgrims, and welcome to another episode of the Polygon Pilgrimage. And today, one of our final episodes of the year, since we are approaching the holiday season, I figured let's go ahead and have some fun and figure out how to make some snowflakes. A lot of parts of the world, we're getting a lot of snow. Not here in Florida, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. I mean, not fortunate because of the festivities, but very fortunate because cold kind of sucks. So let's figure out how to make some snowflakes here, and I've just been experimenting. As you can see, it's pretty good. It's not quite there yet, and I haven't even touched some of the values here, but I want to show you what I went through here to make it. So let's go ahead and jump in. So working here with the initial shape, all I've done is taken a shape node, which is just a square, and changed the values, made it super skinny. And here I've blended that with a transform 2D node to create this first little spoke. Then I've done a series of transform it again, blend it again to add some additional spokes. So here we go, all the different spokes. And then we transform 2D, flip it around, and blend it back with itself. And now we have this initial spire here with the little spokes on either side. So that is our initial shape. And skipping over this for just a moment, as we come over here, you see that we're going to be using that and then throwing that into, this is called a splatter circular, pardon me. And the splatter circular is what we're going to be using to generate the overall shape. But I noticed that with just this center spire and the little edges, it's not quite good enough. So what I did was I came down here and I took this shape and I did a high quality blur, adjusted the levels a bit to get more of a rough selection area. And I'm using that as a mask. So jumping over here, what we've done is taken, this is a crystal 1, run it through a histogram scan to kind of get some popped values there. You can see my position over here, 96. Transform 2D to flip it on its vertical axis. Blend the two together and you get this really neat structure in here. I really like this structure. It's very crystalline, very sub layers to it. And then I blend those two together and I use this shape to sort of select this middle area. And this is pretty cool just all by itself. And then we bring it up here, and when we blend it in with our original shape, now we have that center spire with some of these smaller crystalline structures going on. And that's what I was kind of going for. And now here I throw that into my splatter circular. I keep wanting to call it symmetry circular, pardon me. You can adjust the number, you can adjust your radius. I've put a bunch of values in here, and I just totally did something crazy there. Let's undo that, thank you. So you can adjust all of your numbers and your values here. You can see here, I'll go a little slowly. Here's some of the numbers that I used, just kind of playing around with it until I got something that looks roughly like a snowflake. And then I added a starburst to the background here to try to fill in some of the background a little bit more. I think we're getting pretty close there. And blended one more time. What did we blend in here? That's the starburst there. I've actually done it twice on two different blending modes in different areas to kind of subtract at one point and then cut out from the other. And then as you can see here, I created a new output for opacity in order to generate the opacity. You can see here it is still on the cube, but the opacity makes it look really nice. And that way we can kind of see one all by itself. And then here for the values, the output values are very simple. Just a standard white color. Just threw it into a regular normal node. There's nothing special about this one. Let's take a look at that guy. See all that crystalline structure gives us some really interesting detail in here. And then I haven't even touched yet the roughness and the metallic. I just was playing with the values and trying to figure out what it would look like here. And this looks pretty good. Now, of course, I will want it to be not very rough. I do want it to be smooth and maybe some metallic in there to capture the light so we can get the nice twinkling. If you wanted to use this for, let's say, a particle, you could apply this texture to a particle. And then here I've just created a splatter just to kind of show, oh look, snowflakes falling and at different sizes. And they do look pretty good. Now I want a way to throw this into a pattern generator. We could have multiple variants of this and maybe randomize some of these values and then have different initial shapes you could throw at it, and then you could really have some really effective snowflakes. But just, since it was the holiday season, I figured let's go ahead and play around with it, see what we can create. And of course I did have to go to a pretty high resolution here to get all these fine details, but definitely make use of your symmetry. Work smarter, not harder with your symmetry. Only work on one section and then mirror it out. And if you want a very specific snowflake, plan it out, and you can draw your dotted lines and figure out, okay, I only need to really make 1/8 of this, and then if I do the correct symmetries, you create sort of a mandala effect, and that's sort of what snowflakes do. So I will throw this up on the website after the holidays if you guys are interested in just looking at it. I mean, you just saw it here. This is what we did. But if you want to download it and use it yourself, you're more than welcome to. And I want to thank everyone for another successful year with the pilgrimage. Of course, we'll have our wrap-up episode next week. But I just wanted to thank you in advance. It's been a great year. Looking forward to doing a lot more next year. I have big plans. We got lots going on. So be safe out there with your traveling, especially if you're traveling through some snow. And as always, keep practicing, get better, and I will see you next time as the pilgrimage continues.